doing good. How's everybody doing today?
Doing good. You got some more questions that have come in. So.
Well, great. Let's see if we can get these people some answers here.
Hi, Leroy. This is Dave calling from Jackson, Maine. I'm wondering how they get all the lobstermen to park their boats heading in the same direction. Thanks for your answer.
Okay, Dave. The boats park in the same direction, most generally, because the tide and the wind controls that. Whichever is stronger will determine the direction that the boats are pointed in. And if you look at them, sometimes you will see a little sail on the back of one boat. Some boats will be headed one direction, and the one with the sail will be headed directly into the wind. And that's called a jigger sail. And that keeps the bow pointed to the wind. And when you're fishing, you have less resistance to the sea that's side to on your boat. So to answer your question, yeah, the tide, when it's coming and going, will turn the boats on a mooring. And they are on a mooring because of the tremendous height and depth that the tide drops. We have tides here that go anywhere from 13 to 8 feet in height on a given tide. Once a month we get the real 13-footer, 12, 13-footers. So that is why the boats are in the harbor away from the dock, because most of them would be sitting on bottom if they were tied at the dock. Okay, hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Hey, Leroy. My name is Rick, and I live in Lineborough, New Hampshire. My question is that you talked about your youth and the transformation of the community since your youth, and I'm wondering if you have stories from your father or grandfather that you could share about the differences of their experiences. I'd be very interested. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. My grandfather, I think, was more in the clamming and shellfish area, not the lobstering. Lobstering in his time, he died around 1900. So in his time, lobsters was considered not even fit to eat. They'd catch them on the beach and smash them up and use them for fertilizer in the garden. So they didn't eat them. So it was probably getting up towards World War II while they started figuring out that they could eat them and they were good, you know. Then after that, it took off. Refrigeration was the key. When the trucks came out with the reefers and the refrigeration on the trucks that they could transport them, keep the temperature down, and the heart rate of the lobster slows down when it's cold, so that they could travel longer distances. Mussels was a big commodity, and clams was a big commodity. There's a place in Portland called Burnham and Morrow. Maybe you've driven by it. And one time they used to put up a lot of clam chowder. And they would come down here. When I was a child, they'd come down here, and we would go clamming, and we'd steam the meats out of the clams and put them in a barrel. And we got $3 a barrel for the clam meats. So that was, late 40s, early 50s. So that was still happening. Stone was a big commodity, and so wasn't herring. Sardines was a big commodity. So those two overrid the lobstering. The stone quarries, when I was a child, there was two of them on one island, and they ran around the clock, 24 hours a day. But then they had to ship that stone to New York and elsewhere. So it was a long process to get a finished product to market. I mean, you'd order a stone this year and you'd probably get it next June. That's how long it took to get it done. Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Hey, Leroy. My name's Alex here, calling from Boothbay Harbor. I'm getting started doing this recreational lobstering. I was wondering about the purple trap lines, where you'll have to put a 12-inch on the bottom and in the middle, and then on the very top, I believe it's 32 inches of purple line. How do I integrate that into my trap? Thanks much, Leroy. I liked the video of the chowder. That was a good one.
That's a whale rule, the purple rope, or twine. You can buy twine and lace it in around your line that goes to your trap. Has to be so far from the trap, so far in the middle, and so far on the upper end. And that'll pass, or you can paint the rope purple, and you can check with your coastal warden, and he will tell you exactly what you got to do if you don't understand what they're talking about. Obey the law, go by the rules, and you can enjoy your life fishing. And I give that advice to anybody. Just do what you need to do and do it right. You won't have no problem with them. Yep. So anyway, we're going to sign off for today. This is affiliated with the Maine Center for Coastal Fisheries here in Stonington, Maine. And we're trying to protect our fishery and see how we can make it better, make it more productive, and keep the resource alive for my children and grandchildren and everybody else's, so that we all can benefit from it. Appreciate the questions. Keep them coming. And just call 224-58-LEROY. And we will get you on as soon as we can and answer your questions. Okay? Thank you. I gotta get this mic off. I don't think you want me running off with that. You can listen to me all afternoon.